Hi everyone, welcome back to the episode 6. First things first, Elwood Laban, it's his birthday today, so we wish him a happy birthday. So he will not be joining us today, and sadly Jenny, dance school, or Brindleya if you will, her power's out and having internet issues, so it doesn't look like she'd be joining us. So it would just be us four. Metalodus will be back. Dan will be back in a little bit. And we got us three. So announcements. Sorry about last week because work called and said they needed me to work last Saturday. So that's why we didn't have our episode like as I promised last Saturday. So this is this Saturday would be our last episode for 3 weeks because I have something planned on the 28th for a work event. Then we'd be back to regular scheduled program every other 2 weeks. The other announcement that I have is this is our new Twitch channel, Goblets&Warlocks. They even changed YouTube from Sitsman Gaming to Goblets&Warlocks. So Sitsman Gaming is still going to be my private streaming platform. It's going to be solely for streaming on Twitch. So that's why I created Goblets&Warlocks Twitch channel solely for the purposes of this campaign, any DnD content, or any other role-playing games that we might do on this channel. So if you're watching right now and have not yet followed the channel, please follow the channel so we can get this channel affiliate and so I can add all the other cool perks that comes along with it. But if you, in the meantime, want to support us right now, the only thing you can support us through this Twitch channel is the wish list. If you type in exclamation point wish, and I cannot talk already today, and we ain't even started yet. So if you want to support us for that, just type in exclamation point wish, and there's a list of items that you can get for us and that will need eventually through the campaign. That being said, we have a new player joining us today, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself. You're muted.
Yeah, I know. I've got kids going crazy. Give me a second, please. Didn't expect my 5-year-old to go psycho.
All right. Well, this is your time to. Well, I guess she'll talk about it later then. Oh yeah. I'll go ahead and roll for Melodus. So, the one thing I'm going to change. So for recaps, since last time kind of, I wasn't too happy about. So if I want to implement a rule, if you have to do a recap and you just give me 2 sentences, whoever has inspiration that day will lose their inspiration. I'm also now going to partake into these. I'm going to roll a d22, see if I have to recap, so make it kind of fair for everybody. So at this time, everybody that's here, want to go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and I'll roll one myself. I got a 16. Doesn't look like I'm going.
I might have gotten a 1.
I don't think we have such bad rolls on this. This roll specifically is always such bad rolls. But no one as bad as in that one.
Oh. I don't think anybody else has to roll for that then. I guess Andreas should be doing our recap. And since you write our updated story, we do that. So we're going to cut to our intro and then we'll be right back. So I'm gonna have to zoom in this thing a little bit closer. So with that being said, Dara, you wanna go and introduce yourself and tell everybody about yourself while I zoom in on my camera? Yeah, you just say your name, where you're from, and all that good stuff. How long you playing D&D? If you have any social medias or whatever you want to give a shout out for, whatever.
I don't know social medias, but my name's Erin. I'm from Idaho. I started playing D&D in high school, but I honestly haven't been in a campaign for about 2 years now. So this is the first time in a long time.
All right, cool. Alrighty, Melodis, you didn't have to roll it all because Domino's rolled the 1 on the recap. And I don't know if you heard me say the new rules, Melodis, for the recap. So, like, if you don't give an actual... Did you hear me? Okay, cool. So, all right, cool. That being said, Domino's, go ahead and give us a recap.
First question is, who does have inspiration? Do I want to have them to have inspiration? No.
Right now, Adira has the inspiration because Elwood had inspiration. Since he's not going to be here, he gave it to her. So,
yeah, can't take it away from the new one. So, I would go with last time started when we were rescuing Erudite, an old friend of Grandia, from her peculiar situation in a cage. And she revealed to us that she gave an exciting little artifact to Fallon, which are apparently like a pair of gloves. Or what he exactly does with them, we'll surely find out. And also that she revealed to the group that there was a secret door somewhere in the catacombs leading to the loot of the cult, which we were obviously after. And on our way there, we've encountered some zombies, which were slain by the slightly idiotic yet heroic Elwood and Liliotas. Really exciting. And then we found a young tiefling woman, Vendetta Crest, who we also rescued, and she told us about her family, so the family she was working for, buying wine and distributing wine, and the other guy who was tortured next to her, who was also a member of a important family. So that seemed to be quite the theme the cult was going for, killing people from important families. And so we took them with us. Domino's was very interested in keeping her alive and being very interested in her being a child of the night, so he said. Going deeper into the dungeon, we then found a big brawly man, fighting a few of the cult members called Mortlock. And he is the son of one of the dukes, Talamara, who wants to gain control over Baldur's Gate now that the old High Chief has been gone with Elturel. But Mortlock is not very happy with that, because he says that when his mother gains control of the town, the same happens to Baldur's Gate what happened to Elturel, because she made some kind of bargain, and she had all the cult in her hands to go out, kill people, and make the Flaming Fist look bad. Because we didn't quite clean up the dungeon, we got then attacked by a massive fireball, which almost killed the group, but thankfully we could prevail with the help of Mortlock. And just before the end, there was another magician wizard turning up, ready to team wipe, and then that moment, that person got killed from the dark. And that was a great cliffhanger for the last episode.
All right. As the camera pans into this searing woman in red that's very similar to the one that Fireball drew earlier, reeks in pain and drops to the floor, and out comes from the shadows. Oh, Dira, you want to introduce everybody to your character?
Where do you want me to start with her?
Describe your character, what everybody sees.
So Adira is a silver-skinned dark elf. She's about 5'6". She's got long silver hair and gray skin that just kind of blends in, much like the woman on the floor. She is in a red cloak, kind of hiding back into the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, our heroes see this person just seemingly come out of the dark. The rest of the day is yours. Y'all were just setting up for getting ready to set up to take a long rest, and take it away. And you see this red cloaked dark elf come out of the shadows. This is
Who are
y'all's.
you?
Here we go.
And what are you doing here?
My name is Zadira, and I've been contracted with the Order of the Gauntlet to infiltrate the cult.
Coming in really, really low. Anybody else hearing her really low?
Yeah, quite.
Any way to get the mic closer to you?
That better?
Turning up my speaker. Hopefully that doesn't mess with our... Alright.
I'm so sorry about that. My mic's kind of stupid.
That's much better now.
Much better, much better.
So, my name is Zadira. I was contracted with the Order of the Gauntlets to infiltrate the cult and kind of sneak out and see what they're up to.
The Order of the Gauntlet? You're a dark elf. Why would the Order want anything to do with you?
Because I might have been doing something that they don't necessarily approve of, and I have some skills that could be very valuable to them.
I guess we shall see.
Do they force you to work for them now?
Do I have to answer that right away?
You don't have to. It's just your character. What will your character say, and what will your character do?
That is exactly what she would say.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
You're going to have to answer some of our questions because we've almost been attacked by someone who looks exactly like you, and I don't know about everyone else, but I'm not going to be too quick to trust you. I'd like some answers, I think.
Yes, I agree with that. If you want us to trust you and not kill you on the spot, you better answer our questions.
Then might as well ask away. Although, if it does go to my favor, I do have tenets of the Order on me.
Meliodas, do you know anything about this woman or any dark elf who's in your funny little cult?
Oh, nothing at all. I know for a fact that we do not like necromancers in the Order, as well as it's pretty much law that, necromancy it's highly,
To clarify, she did not say she's necromancy yet. You do not know that she's necromancy.
She said in their description.
No, all she described to you was that she was wearing a red cloak and what she looks like.
I just said I was a dark elf.
All she said she was a dark elf.
You just assumed it.
And dark elves are known for necromancy, are they not?
Not necessarily.
It's common practice, but it doesn't mean that I exactly practice it.
Then the better question is, since I know that you are a dark elf, do you practice necromancy?
I know, I dabble here and there.
Look, I don't really care what you do in your free time, whether you bring people back from the dead. Are you going to get in our way?
No, I am here to help, I swear.
Of course, the high elf has nothing to say of a dark elf.
Look, I don't trust any of you lot. Whether you're a dark elf or a tiefling, I've stood side by side for you this far. It's, we're stuck in the middle of a dungeon. I've surrounded myself with the people I've surrounded myself with at this point. I want to get things done, and whoever I can scrounge up to do them with me. that's the hand I'm dealt.
Dominoes, do you have any other questions?
She's a child of the night, so I tend to trust those. And I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt for now, after killing this other one.
Well, I'm too tired to think anyhow, and I think it's time for us to take a rest anyways. And how about we use this new individual to help us out with watch so that we can get a good rest in.
I agree.
Okay, I'm not sure I want all of us to have a rest while this person who we met all of 2 minutes ago is our only lookout.
No,
Stay awake with me.
no, you have, so no, yes, we have enough people in our party that we will sleep with 2 individuals watching, because I do not need as long of a rest as all of you to rejuvenate myself.
Grinlia will say she'll stand watch with her. I really don't know how she would say in this scenario, but yeah. So who's taking the first watch? And where y'all taking rest at? Are y'all taking rest in this pool of water where y'all just had that big battle?
No. So, correct me if I'm wrong, the room that we just got our loot in it's one way in, one way out, correct?
Correct.
Does it have any type of special locks that we can utilize to close it from the inside?
No, there's no door. It's just open, just an open way into the circular room where you found all the loot. But
Got it.
you got the stair. You had the stairs. You come up to get in there, and then you had that open way at the top of the stairs. Then you had a circular room. So there's only one way in, one way out. There's just no door or nothing.
Got it. One way in, one way out. Well, as long as we post watch, what say the rest of us get some rest, and then once our 4 hours come up, I can take watch, as well as Elwood.
At this point, Vanetta, she comes to consciousness or seemingly comes consciousness and overhear this discussion and volunteers to stand watch with Dominoes.
I'm happy to stay watch with the child.
Oh, now who's doing what watch? You need to do at least 3 watches to make a successful long rest.
So, are we saying Grelio and Nadir on the first one, Meliodas and Elwood on the second one, and then Dominoes and the Tiefling on the third one?
Sure. That's whatever you want to do.
Right, so I say that to the group. Can I also just say, when it comes to the third one, when it's Dominoes and the Tiefling, I'm going to be sort of pretending to be resting, but I do want to sort of overhear any conversation that the 2 Tieflings have, because I'm not sure I trusted that, but I don't say that to the group. I'm just, to the group, I'm saying, you guys take watches, and I'm just sort of lay back. Right, so
I think we all decided, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody.
The first 2 people on watch, so everybody else go ahead and start going to sleep. You have not taken your long rest yet, so do not hit that button. All right. So the first people on watch is Grinlia and Aldera. I'll say the conversation whenever she wants to have it with you, so just give me a perception check. What?
12.
It says you got 8. Or you can just
My
hit
bonus.
yeah, but so on the character sheet you can just hit perception or roll with the bonus and everything in, so that's fine. So 12. Your 4 hours pass, and it's just you can hear some rats running around, but nothing too significant. So your watch passes without any issue. Who has next watch?
Sweet. I believe that would be myself and was it me and Laban?
Yeah. Leotis and Elwood.
Or Elwood. Yeah, Elwood. Yes, correct. So because I only need 4 hours for my long rest.
Okay. Well, you also like 1 hit point, so you still want to like still be resting and binding wounds and stuff for the rest of the 8 hours. But
I'm at 11 actually.
or 11. A couple of people are at 1 hit point. I don't remember who. So go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right, rolling a perception. Gross. 7.
All right. Let me go to Elwood. Get to his character sheet. I can roll for him. I didn't roll for Greenlee. I guess I should have. Oh well, whatever. Nine. Same thing. You hear rats, some running water. But Elwood says, I want to prove it will sparks up the conversation with you, Melodus, that he wants to prove himself to Dominos. He gives you this letter. Says, can you please hand this to him when he wakes up, when he takes the last watch?
Well, I definitely don't take orders from.
He's asking you.
I don't take orders from a half elf, but since you've shown that you are a valuable companion thus far within our journey, I will do so.
He graciously says, it wasn't an order. I was just asking, and I'm going to go scout out the Low Lantern Tavern for you guys and meet up with me there. And he leaves. Unless you're trying to stop him or something.
I feel as though with my rest thus far, I'm good enough to keep watch, and I let him leave.
All right, and as he goes off into the shadows. Alrighty. The last watch. Who has the last watch? It was Dominos and
Dominos and the Tiefling girl.
Vanetta. All right, cool.
Yeah, Vanetta.
As you get up, Melrose hands you this letter from Elwood. And Melrose, what do you say to Dominos?
Your half-elf friend from your order has left this for you. I don't know what's in it because I'm not a nosy individual, but I figured you would want this.
Where did he go?
He went off to the tavern to scout out for us.
What is to be scouted in a tavern? Is he just going there for a drink, lazy bastard?
Well, I'm sure he's just trying to get more information for us.
A disgrace, this guy. Hand me the letter, please.
I hand him the letter.
All right, and Melrose, you can go ahead and start taking your trance and pretty much go in a state of meditation.
Yep.
Dominos, what do you do with the letter? You keep it, read it later, or what?
I read it now. Might as well.
Okay. As you start reading, you realize it basically says, glorious leader, you've been a great mentor for me. I feel like I need to do more to prove myself to you and show you that I'm a true asset for you. I've decided to go scout out the tavern, see what lies ahead, and find out any information that we can. Please meet up with us, or meet up with me when y'all are ready. I'll get a room there, and I'll be there when y'all arrive. Sincerely yours, your half-elf protege. Elwood.
I shake the hat and then toss the letter aside into one of the puddles.
All right. Give me a perception check.
9.
Hey, it flows with these 9s today already. About midway through your watch, Vanetta finally speaks up and whispers in your ear, I want to properly thank you for saving my life. Follow me. And she starts walking down the stairs to the water. As she turns to right to head down the hallway, you see her derobe and drop a dress. You follow.
Yes, I follow her down. And I pick up her dress and put it over her shoulders.
And as you do this, she shoves you against the wall, getting really close to you. And she starts to lean in for a kiss. At this moment, though, you see her transform to a long, dark-haired shadow figure, slowly taking form into Shar. It says to you, what are you doing? You've almost got yourself killed twice now. You do not realize the meaning of your life. Do not realize I have chosen you as my son for a reason.
Am I able to go to my knees?
Sure.
Yeah, I fall to my knees and...
Get up. You're worth more. Get up.
Yeah, I stand up and was barely able to look her in the eye. I'm sorry, Mother, for disappointing you. I'm bound to this vessel. I'm sorry, Mother. I'm trying.
Stop saying sorry. Do you not understand the great destiny that lies before you, my son?
I understand. I feel it, Mother.
Do you feel it? Do you know what your destiny is?
What are your plans with me, Mother?
It's not my plans. He has plans for you.
He
has plans for you. You saw the visions, right?
I did. It's hard to understand.
The point is, you cannot feel this destiny being dead. And I fear for you, my son. I get that you don't like people and all this, but you're with a group of right now. And I get that you don't like them. At least show some, maybe not compassion, but treat them better, because you've went down twice now, almost died twice, and they saved your life, but you still treat them like crap. My fear for you is, if you keep treating them that way, they will not revive you the next time you go down. And she reaches at the necklace around your neck. Should I just take this back and try to find somebody else? And tell him that I'll find somebody else for him?
No, Mother, I understand. I don't understand how you feel such compassion with those creatures.
I didn't say I feel compassion with them. I feel compassion for you, and I fear for your life. If you can truly mistreat the people that's keeping you alive, they might not be so quick to keep you alive. So, I guess a proper term is that they're a means to an end. But if you want them to keep helping you, you can't treat them so much like crap.
I will use them more wisely, Mother.
Use your skills and stuff that I've taught you. Don't be outright obvious that you don't like them. That makes sense.
I understand.
Now, do know where you're going, right?
We're going down, aren't we?
That's where your destiny lies. He will be waiting for you. Do you know who I'm talking about? You saw visions. Correct?
I saw the visions, yes. But what has he to do with you?
I don't want to reveal too much where it might not happen. Plus, I don't think you're ready for it. Just know where destiny lies. To protect my plane. If you do not fulfill your destiny, my plane of existence will cease to exist along with me. Everything.
I serve you.
What?
I serve you, and I serve your darkness.
Okay. Well, if you do not complete this destiny, I will cease to exist, and all the astral plane will cease to exist.
I understand.
When you're ready, I'll tell you more. Just remember, I'm not the only one watching. He's watching too. And as he says it, or as she says this, she fades back, vanishes into the darkness. You're now there alone in the hallway.
He's obviously very distressed and confused a bit. And a bit thoughtful. And then he goes back to the group to finish his watch.
Yeah. So the last watch is Thalen and Brinley, all right? Or y'all
I
just...
thought you said we only needed 3
We only needed 3. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Because I said I wanted to try and overhear. Did I get to overhear any of what Downer said? Or any of that whole thing?
No, they walked down the hallway. You did not hear.
Okay.
But did he notice them leaving, and did he follow?
I don't think you would have noticed because you're in a trance.
No. I'm talking about Thalen because he said he was going to be keeping his eyes open and watching. Or is that the Tiefling watch that he was going to keep an eyes open on?
Yeah, that was That was Downer. And if I didn't see it,
Because you're in a trance. All right, so roll me a perception with disadvantage.
No, that's not great. 10.
You saw them walk down the stairs, but you just kind of figured they're doing like a patrol of the perimeter or whatever, but you didn't really follow because you didn't think nothing else of it. Yeah.
And then we've done our 3 rests, correct? So
yeah. As Domino's is walking back, I'm not role playing 3 characters. Grinlia gets up and asks Domino's, where did Elwood go?
He left to the tavern. Probably to have a drink or something.
She says that blubbering idiot. And her and Shadow, she says, I'll go make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. And she leaves to go after him. You stop her or what?
Avernus is still like in thoughts about things, so he just barely notices her walking past.
Okay. So, her and Shadow leave to go chase after Elwood. I hope they know how to figure out where the tavern is. I think y'all would have told. You could have told him. So, I think Melodus Bane told him. Whatever. We'll play it as they asked around and found it. Screw it.
Yeah.
All right. This concludes your results. Watch. What y'all want to do? Yeah, y'all can take your long rest and gain all your hit points back, all your spell slots. And you can tell me what y'all are going to do.
So the tiefling girl isn't there anymore.
Nope, she's gone.
Okay, so I turned down.
So for player knowledge, she basically took the form of her to have a conversation with Andreas.
Yeah.
Or Dominus.
I turn to Dominus and I say, wasn't there another one of you devils walking around here? What happened to the little girl?
She decided to leave the group, and as it's now safe here for her, I let her go.
You look, I know you don't really care much about us and everything, but this was a poor girl who had been chained and tortured, and you let her walk through forget it. You forget it. I don't even understand how your mind works.
She's strong enough.
Calm down, high elf. I've known Dominus now, for multiple days and weeks, and I trust he has made the right decision with this one and discussed it with her before letting her go.
Yeah, I wish I could trust him as much as you do, but again, I'm here with you. It's too late to change that now.
Well, she wasn't the only one leaving. As I don't see the large dog, I think Grandia and him has left and followed. Elwood, who has also left us. So I think we are quite halved.
Seems that way. Where have they gone to? Do you know? Or have we just been abandoned by our party?
Apparently they went to the tavern for reasons. I don't know.
Okay, well...
I think we should be more concerned that half of this party now consists of people we don't know. As much as I respect the Dark Elf, but her and this Morphlock guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was there. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
He's very quiet, it's alright.
He's in the background just going...
Pretty much.
Nobody knows.
He's having a good time.
He wakes up speaking off. Want there more of you?
So, don't think too much. Counting is not your strong suit.
Oh, you're right. Bashing brains in, or is... Should I bash yours in?
I deny that, thank you.
Little one, you need to have more respect for bigger people.
Well, I think, big boy, you need to have more respect for numbers versus just yourself.
He kindly looks at all the bodies he left down on the ground. I'm good with numbers. You see all those bodies with their heads bashed in? I think I'm good.
Quite sure that you have help.
He starts laughing.
Blubbering oaf.
You can call me whatever you want.
Well, now that half of our party is gone, and we've got all of this loot to carry out, this is going to take a little bit more time than I had thought. We should have probably strapped some of this to Shadow on his way out.
Yeah, that would have been better. At least we have this and can now leave this place.
I'm now regretting not having gotten that bag of holding at the shop when we first started our journey.
Oh, if you're nicer than me, I can carry 2 of these by myself.
Yeah, make the other animal carry it.
Sounds like an
Calling
idea.
him an animal would be a great way to get him to do anything.
You already offered.
Or there's this term you could ask him politely. Might decrease some animosity there.
And I remind you, without me, you wouldn't know anything about my family.
Yeah, I step forward and I say, "You'll have to apologize to my friends. He's different. He doesn't know how to be kind. He doesn't know how to show thanks. You've helped us. You've saved our lives today, and we would really appreciate your help taking these last 2 crates out."
I like this little one. He's awesome. What's for breakfast?
What's for breakfast?
Oh, actually, y'all got down there and so this. What's for midnight snack? Because it's now dark now. Because y'all went down there. You went through the bathhouse like early in the morning, so I just took an 8-hour rest. So it's close to evening time now. So
I sort of point at the boxes and say, "Look, no one else is eating them. I think there were some rations in some of them, right?"
Yeah.
So I say, yeah. I point and say, "Help yourself," and just sort of leave him to his own devices.
well, he's a big boy. He's going to eat 4 rations.
Alright, let's hope we didn't need them.
All right, cool. All right, he eats 4 rations. Anybody else eating or whatever before y'all start taking off?
Yeah. I'm having a ration as well.
I'll mark it off.
I'm having a ration as well.
And that pile of loot, I guess y'all had. I guess whoever's. I guess she was keeping track. She's not here, so Mark, just keep a mental note that they all lost 4 rations to Mortlock.
Okay.
All right. So once with action, you see and grab 2 chests, put them over his shoulders, and start walking behind you guys. Whoever grabbing the other 2.
I mean, should we just do 2 people per chest, and then we can just take it out? All 4 of us?
There's 4 chests, correct?
Yep. 4 total. Mortlock has grabbed 2. He's got 1 on each shoulder because he's a strong, beefy boy.
All right, cool. Yes. Dominoes, I'd like to take this chest with you.
Yes, we can do that.
Adira, if you'll help me with this one.
Gladly. Let's get going.
All right. Which way you going out? Guess
We're
about.
gonna go. Do you all want to go back down that corridor that we started, where we defeated the zombies?
That's pretty much the only way out.
Yeah, the safe thing to do is retrace our steps.
Or retrace your steps. So we just not gonna check any other rooms. Got it. That y'all missed along the way. All right. As you get back to the main chamber where Erodice is still in that cage and that guy that was hanging up that you knocked out.
Wait. No. As we're going down that corridor, are any of the doors that we did not check now open?
There's no doors.
I thought that's where we went through doors to fight the zombies. There were other doors along the way as well.
Yeah, those weren't doors. It's just hallways.
Okay, so as we're down the hallway, are now there any doors open that were not previously open when we went down there and got fireballed?
So you're going back to. So you're saying you're going back through the secret door to D23?
Yes, that's the intent, is to go back where retrace our steps and go back where we came from.
Well, as you come through the secret door, there's a forward on hallway which seems to be collapsed in and an open passageway to the left. And it has stairs leading up.
So there's just confirming there are no extra doors open that we had not seen previously.
Well, you got to go to those locations.
Right. So, well, just let's just keep walking towards the entrance.
So you're going. So instead of going down the hallway to the open area to the left, you're going to go back out.
Back out.
Okay.
Yep. We're not even gonna try to check to see if there's anything else.
All right, so you retrace your steps good enough. You get back to D12 where Eredice is still in the cage where y'all left her, and the guy hanging up on the wall.
Would Grelia not have helped Eredice on her way out?
Yep, she did. She grabbed her on the way out, and well, you wouldn't know that actually. You just go to the cage, you see she's no longer there, but you still see the guy hanging up on the wall.
Okay, can we check on that guy?
You quadriplegic one, yeah.
All right, well, how are you checking on him?
I'm gonna roll a health check.
Tell me how you checking on him.
I'm gonna check for a pulse.
And that would be a medicine check, yes.
Yep. All right, rolling a medicine. Woo woo. I got a 14.
He has no pulse.
No pulse? Poor bastard. I did a little too much with my spear.
And you already checked. You knew he broke his neck, and you safely assume that since he broke his neck, he has trouble breathing and he suffocated. Because he didn't have any more medical attention. You broke his neck and left him hanging up, and he had no way to help himself. So he is sadly passed over.
Congratulations, Paladin. You killed a helpless man.
And at this point, I just, with my one empty hand, put my head into my hands. Go, oh my goodness, this is not going to look good on the order, nor is my deity going to be happy about this one.
And you say a dark elf in your order is something out of order.
Trust me, a dark elf is definitely not something that we should be trusting at this point. Not until she has proven herself to us, just like every other party member has.
I mean,
We have a thief, a murderer, and a dark elf. I think it fits quite well.
Unless you miss yourself out in that description.
I'm worse than all of you.
all right. So you see Eredice is gone. This guy's dead. Did his little sobbing. And what are y'all doing now?
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going up.
Everybody keep going up. All right. Y'all head back up to the entrance where y'all entered in from the bathhouse. It's nighttime now, so the place is closed down. Nobody's in there. You get to the main area and you see the same 3 baths, the same pillars and everything. Where do you want to go?
Out the front door?
Out the front door, you realize it's locked.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any lockpicking skills?
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I think you get advantage on it, right? With your gloves.
With the, I think so. Let me just double check. No, it's just +5.
Oh, it's +5. I thought you get advantage on it. Or it may sleight of hand checks you get advantage on.
It says +5 for it. I'll take advantage if you want to give it to me. But
Go ahead. You're good. Just go and roll your.
What is it? Performance?
Don't you have a lockpicking? Yeah.
Oh, does that give me advantage?
I think you can click that and you roll that, and I think it goes off your Dex mod. Check.
I've got Thieves' Tools.
Yeah, these tools. That's what I'm talking about.
That just gives me a proficiency bonus. Yeah, so no, I don't think I get advantage from anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I get.
So it'll be
proficiency
give me a sleight of hand check.
Does a 27 unlock this door?
Not only do you pick this lock, it goes in with such smooth. You didn't even hear any sound when you went in with your lock picking to unlock this door. Without even a sound. It's almost like you willed this door open with just your, smoothness. And the door's opened up. And you stand there like all proud of yourself.
Brilliant. Well done, Fee. Now let's leave.
I tried to play it cool and just sort of nod, and I just smugly grin to myself as I look away.
I just chuckle. Well done, well done.
All right, you going into the courtyard. You remember the L-shaped courtyard going outside the door. Who's the first one out?
I'm gonna take my end out first.
Alrighty. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oof.
15.
As you're coming out, you all of a sudden cannot move, cannot talk, nothing. And your end of the case drops. And who's carrying the other end?
Avernus is.
Avernus. You see him stop moving, and he drops his side of the case. And as you do that, five people jump down from the wall in front of you on the street and says, what? They're all wearing different type clothes from the Dead Three. You can tell they're like cultists of some sort. You're not sure who. Or actually, Domino's, give me a religion check since you're the only other person who can actually see them.
6.
Actually, roll with advantage. Roll with advantage. Here's the reason why I'm telling you to roll with advantage.
Okay. 16.
There you go. You recognize their symbols and stuff because they're wearing like a mask or whatever, like a mask around their hoods. Because it resembles the same symbol of the ring you stole from the very first camp. You recognize this is the symbol of Tiamat, the goddess of dragons. And you discern that these are worshippers of them. So, their leader sometimes like, we've been watching you for weeks now, wondering what y'all are doing, and we'd like to thank you for returning our treasure to us, our queen's special loot.
So they're here to get the stuff.
This is what y'all carrying right now was taken from Tiamat's special treasure, and she wants it back, and we're here to collect it.
I look into the group. I mean, Meliodas is very much frozen. I say, I don't care for these things. If they want them, they can have them. What does the rest of the group think?
Well, I don't want to. Do you reckon I could? I wonder if I could swipe something. Swipe like the most valuable thing that we have, and then just give them the dress. But I also don't want to make 5 people angry who have just shown that they can paralyze one of their own.
Gives me a wisdom saving throw, Melodus. Give me a wisdom saving throw. You succeed. You're no longer held in place. You can actually talk and move now. You're muted.
Alright, my daughter just dropped a huge candle on my foot.
She's stunned.
Yeah, I'm definitely stunned. What just happened? Dominoes, what happened?
You have been paralyzed by these lovely folk. They are from the Order of the Dragon.
They're followers of they're followers of Tiamat, the god of all dragons. She, you know that she's in Avernus.
Yes. And they demand their loot back that the cult stole of them. I don't care for any of those trinkets, so if they want them, we shall give them.
The cult has seen me and Adira.
What?
Have they seen me or Adira?
Well, I mean, y'all are going out the door right now.
But we haven't actually gone
I
out the
was the
door.
one who went out first, and then as soon as I went out, so my assumption, just like Fallon's, is the fact that like I was the first.
But y'all were following each other, right? They all following each other. So Meliodas and Dominos made out the gate with theirs. That's when he got frozen. Y'all were coming through the gate too, so they see all of you.
Including the brute, with the two chests, one on either shoulder.
Yep.
He's coming out the door.
So are you trying to swipe something? You said.
I turned to the group and I said, "Look, we've killed enough people to get this loot. I'm happy to kill a few more."
Bashing heads. I don't mind.
If you were so into getting this loot, then why didn't you go down yourself? Why did you wait until we came out?
We were on our way in, and we saw you go in. And as we're going in, you see you coming out with the loot. So demand y'all return it to us.
What will you do if we don't?
What do you think will happen? Our great Lord Mother wants her loot back. We will do
I think we have more
anything.
important things to do. Just give them the loot and let's go on with it.
So what say you all?
I say we leave the loot and go.
I believe our companion is back as well, but she's obviously with Elwood in the tavern.
Oh, there she is.
I
Oh,
would have
very
to
good.
side with our high elf here, and I think we should just turn the big guy loose on him.
Hey!
Hi. Sorry.
Andreas, kick your other cam out.
Yep.
Well, in that case, retcon. Grinley and Shadow did not leave the party, so you're still here.
We're back. Hello. I'm sorry. I just had to run. I'm real sorry about that. We're back now.
Well, to catch you up, the party is just leaving the bathhouse, and as they're waiting to go out the door, Male Otis was frozen in his place by these 5 guys, and Domino's rolled high enough to know they're the followers of Tiamat, the goddess dragon of Avernus, goddess of all dragons, and this is their loot they're trying to get back for Tiamat. So, that being said, now, what are y'all doing? He wants his loot back. Or they want her loot back.
I argued for giving it back to them because we have more pressing problems.
I sort of get a bloodthirsty look in my eyes. I pull out my dagger and I lunge towards them.
Oh, easy.
Too late. He's already doing it.
it. So could try to stop me.
Who
but
you
I'm
aiming for?
Just I guess the closest one to me.
I'll try and stop him.
I'm not doing this tactically. I'm going for it. I've killed enough today. I'm gonna kill more. We've worked hard for this loot.
Mother, why do you test my patience like that?
Roll.
Bunch of idiots.
Are you throwing your dagger or lunging at him with your dagger?
How close is he to me?
What is it with you and this dagger?
How close is he?
Here, give me a second and I'll show. I mean. Alright. That's the case. Let me just go ahead and show you guys then. Alright. Dominoes. Hang out of the gate. For this? Yes. Who's behind him?
I guess Fallon and Nadira, if you can just jump out of
Was
the
you
door.
in front, Fallon, or who was in front carrying the chest?
I guess me.
I don't think we ever actually decided.
No.
Alright, we'll do this that so we're not completely retconning in this, Grillia. You come around the corner and you're over here. See these guys around there. So down you're right here. Here are these guys right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna
You
take
you see these four just in regular standard cloaks, and then this guy is dressed differently. You see, and he's the one. This guy is the one that's been talking.
Okay. Oh, he's the one who's been talking. That's what I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna. Yeah. So I want to step out. I say, "This is our loot. This is our loot," and just throw a dagger at him. Throw my dagger at him.
All right, this is your one free action, and have everybody roll initiative.
Okay. So that is a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Nice. So 6. Uh, 10 damage.
Grab my foot. Caught it. It's good. We're good. We're good. Ten damage. You got it. All right. Everybody roll initiative.
Done.
All right. 2025.
Yeah, I got 22.
That's cool. We consider that when your first action, then, since you're first on the turn order. Anyway. 15 to 19. Nobody? All right. 10 to 14.
Shadow got 12.
Okay. Anybody else get anything? 10 to 14?
I had my mic muted. I had the 19. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, cool. And Shadow had what? 12? So Shadow had 12?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to roll initiative for Meliodas? Because his power's gone out for a little bit and he's trying to get it sorted.
Oh, no. The screen is all messed up already.
He's off the breaker, trying to get everything booted back up now.
Initiative 17. Jesus. All right, so I got Shadow. Alrighty, 5 to 9.
Currently, I got an 8.
What about everybody else? Dominoes?
I got a 4. 4. Of course, it's me.
All right. Valiant has this quick rush because he doesn't want to deal with these people, and he throws his dagger, stabs the guy talking in the chest, and it retracts to his hand. Adira, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be throwing another dagger at the talker in the middle.
You're throwing a dagger?
I have a dagger.
Well, you're gonna move to C?
Yes. Sorry. I'm gonna move out to C.
Probably about right there.
Then yeah.
Roll your attack.
I'll be throwing a dagger at our little talker in the center there.
Have to roll his.
Oops.
Roll your attack for the dagger then.
Which one is that again?
Just go down your dagger and click attack. So go down your actions. So you should have a dagger, and right beside the dagger, you should hit a attack roll. Then there's a damage button to hit.
Thank you.
Righty.
5.
That as you come up, you're not very averse with daggers, and you throw your dagger, and like a Matrix movie does this, and it flies off and behind him. Well, is that little one? All right. Next person up is going to be Shadow, so start thinking about what Shadow's going to do. This is going to run up to Alan because he's the one that did initial damage. Does 15 hit you?
That is my armor class.
All right, so it hits you. You take a whopping 2 slashing damage because this guy whips out his scimitar and slices at you. Catch you right on the arm. Runs up right behind Meliodas, which... There he is. Right. Box.
There we go.
There we go. All right, Meliodas, you there? You're up.
Awesome. Well,
Oh, actually, no, you're not up. I'm sorry. I was going to attack you. That's what I was going to do.
Ah.
I'm assuming Sitz does not hit Meliodas, so he comes in, screams down his freshly plate armor that he just put on. Does no damage. Now, the big guy in the middle that was doing all the talking... let's see. Guy in the middle is going to cast Spiritual Weapon at the 2nd level. Let's do that one. Put it like right there. Spiritual Weapon. Concentration. Concentration spell. Is somebody check Spiritual Weapon? Make sure it's concentration. It is. Alrighty. Alright, cool. It's going to attack. Actually, no. It's going to cast it right here in front of Thalion. Since you did the initial damage to him and he took the damage, he's going to attack you with the Spiritual Weapon. Find it.
Spiritual weapons, not concentration.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
Oh, it was. Alright, cool. Does an 18 hit you, Thalion?
Yes, it does.
Right.
We should let them have him.
Oh, what's my... What was that? For the wrong one. Oh, wait, that was a D8. That's right. So you take 9 points of damage, Thalion, from the spiritual weapon that appeared in front of you and slashed at you and cut you right across the chest.
Cool. Good fun.
Now it's Shadow's turn. Friendly, you're after Shadow. So you got 2 things to think about.
Quick question. Do we have a long rest?
Yes, you did. So yeah, you're going to take a long rest.
Fantastic. That's good news. Okay. So Shadow's gonna run up to whoever's the closest guy.
Shadow is?
Yeah.
Well, these 2 are equal distance. You got the big bad guy and then this guy. The one that was doing the talking.
Alright, go. He'll go for the one that was talking.
It's like 50 feet of movement. You got it?
Yep, he's gonna try and bite his head off.
Alright, roll that attack.
22.
Yeah, it
Wow.
definitely hits.
Yeah, alright. Here we go. Oh dear. 9 biting head damage.
Yep.
And he must make a DC 13 strength save.
Nine?
No, he's prone.
Uh-oh.
Not prone.
Describe what happened. Describe what Shadow just did.
Shadow jumps up and puts his 2 paws on his shoulders, and he bites him on the side of the head, and as he lets go, he like spins his paws, and the guy like does a spin and then lands on his back.
Nice. I like
Shadow,
it.
Good boy, Shadow, good boy. Cheer him on from the side.
Now, Grinlia, you're up.
Oh, and then I go. Alright, so I will let's see. I will try to has that guy in the black cloak done anything yet? The one Shadow's not attacking?
There's 2 in the black cloak.
Okay, the one that was to the right closer to me.
That one? No,
Yeah.
he has not done anything yet.
Alright, well then I will use try and thorn whip him.
What's the range on a thorn whip?
It's 30 feet.
Yeah, you need to move.
Alright, I'll move up.
That gets you in. That gets you 30 feet.
Okay. I got a 17.
That definitely hits. You're whipping out. Finally
I whip
connects.
it out, finally! I get to
Finally
whip it
connects
out.
with it.
I've been holding
Only
this forever.
6 episodes so far
Oh.
to finally nail it.
Hallelujah. Oh, well, 2 damage, but...
Is that 2 damage?
2 piercing damage, but he's pulled 10 feet closer to me.
And is he like grappled with it?
No, he's not grappled. He's just yanked
So
backwards.
you whip it out, wrap around him, deal damage, yank it back, and whip it back.
Hey!
Alright, cool. Awesome. Domino's, you're up.
Can I go to the treasure box and take out the porcelain dragon mask and the bronze crown?
Which chest?
I have a look into the one closest to me and see whether it's in there.
Roll me a D100. If it's above 50, it's in that chest. If it's not in that chest.
A D100.
A D100.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, there's 4 chests, so if it's above 80, it's in that chest.
Yeah, it's a 98.
Oh, lucky devil, you. Yep, it's in that chest.
Yeah.
Literally.
And can
It takes your
I-
action to raise it up, and your bonus action, you can speak if you're trying to.
So I can pick him up with my action.
Yeah, because you're using your action to reach in there to grab him.
Okay.
Remember, rounds only 6 seconds. It's going to take you 6 seconds to open the chest and grab it.
Yeah, sure. And can I use my bonus action to just raise him up and shout at them, "Here it is!"
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, currently he's on the ground getting his face gnawed off. So he does.
Just to all of them. Yeah.
All right. Let's see where you're at. So the rest of them are like, you do realize all of that is ours, not just those.
Annoying people trying to help. That's my turn then, I guess.
Portlock. He wants to get in this fight.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was with us.
Find his paper stat sheet. Oh, there it is.
I'm assuming I'm the last one to go.
Actually, go ahead and take your turn. I skipped you because you wasn't here, so my bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take your turn.
My bad. So the big guy who was talking beforehand, I'm gonna go with the dual-bladed vicious spear.
You got somebody right behind you, and the one that was talking before is on the ground, being pummeled by Shadow right now. But there's one directly behind you.
I'm gonna pivot towards the guy behind me, and I'm going to use my dual-bladed vicious spear.
Got it.
All right. Oh my God. Does a 9 hit?
And no, it does not. Since you just came unparalyzed, you're still kind of groggy. You turn around to whip around with your spear, and he ducks as the spear goes over his head. Now, Mortlock, I'm assuming you're staying there.
Yes, I'm gonna stay at that point.
So Mortlock comes up, puts his chest on the ground, and is going to hit the guy in the red cloak. Oh! Natural 20.
Woof.
Mortlock comes up. I'll show you how you guys do. Takes his club, comes across this poor, looking at him because Mortlock's towering over him. He's like, oh my God! Cave his head in and wipes him off the field. He runs over here to help you out, Melodus. Swipe him with his club. He's so ecstatic that he just killed somebody. He's like, ugh. He swings wildly, misses, and catches you in the shoulder. Melodus, and you take
A 20 and that 1, great.
and you take 8 damage, Melodus, as he rolled a 1 to attack him. So Melodus.
Watch where you're swinging that thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He's a slippery guy. Dallin, you're up.
Right. Can I run to the guy who's prone on the ground?
You can provoke 2 opportunities of attack.
I'll take a bonus action to disengage because I can do that as a rogue.
Yeah, you can disengage from one person, but you can be running through another person.
It says here, if you take a disengage action, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of your turn.
From anybody or just that one person?
It just says your movement doesn't provoke for the rest of your turn,
Right,
so I
got
think it applies to it. But
Running between 2.
yeah, and then and I get advantage because he's
Yep.
on the ground.
You roll with advantage.
Cool. Does a 15 hit?
I think it does. It does.
Okay, cool. So I also get sneak attack because I had advantage.
I mean, Shadow's also in
Oh
play.
yeah.
8 damage?
So 8 plus 7 plus
8 plus 7?
so 19 damage.
As you run, describe what you're doing.
Right, I'm absolute crazy. Look in my eyes. There are people. There's a spectral weapon in front of me. There are people to my side. I've got tunnel vision. I'm sprinting forward, and I just keep saying, "This is ours. This is ours. This is ours." And I just plunge my knife just deep into his chest.
Deep in his chest, blood splatters out all over your face as the last breath of air rushes out of his body. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see.
Oh, he's gonna get all stabby again.
That is a 13.
As you do this, the blood rushes over your eyes. Your pale whites of your eyes is now back to being blood red. As you're killing this guy, the dagger flames up as you know before, and it just urges you more to keep stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. As blood splattering all over you and in Shadow. Shadow's like shaking his head, trying to get it off his face. Adira. Did I say it right?
You guys keep adding in an L where there is not.
Well, how you properly say it?
It's Adira.
Adira. All right, cool. It's your turn. And then Melodis, you're up. All right, you're on deck. I mean,
I want to move closer to the guy in the standing red cloak.
they're just easy enough.
And for right now, that is it.
You're doing what?
I said, and for right now, that is it.
You're not gonna attack?
No, because I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do this.
Okay. I mean, you can hold an action for something if you want. Yeah, that option too.
We'll just go ahead and pass on it.
All right, Melodis. You're up.
You're muted.
Melodis, you're muted.
Thanks. So I missed him. I was because I was groggy, and after I miss and get hit by the bludgeon of the oath, it wakes me back up. And after saying to him, watch where you're swinging that thing, you big oaf, I will channel divinity, and I'm going to use a nature's wrath on this individual right in front of me.
Describe what it does.
As an action, it causes the spectral vines to spring up, and
I get that. Describe in your version of what it looks like.
Got it. All right, so there becomes like rumbling from underneath the ground, and basically startles the individual and starts to rock him back and forth, and then these vines come straight out of the ground and grab onto each limb of his, as well as his throat, and spring around. And so the individual now has to make a strength or dexterity saving throw each turn.
On his turn or your turn?
It says the creature must succeed on dexterity or strength saving throw, or be restrained.
Oh, he's restrained.
It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, freeing itself.
All right. So he does a dexterity saving throw on his turn.
Correct.
Okay. All right. This guy's gonna swing at Oh, actually, no. This guy sees his leader being stabbed to death, and goes down to his knees and pleads for mercy. And that's his turn. Well, and the guy you just did your channel divinity on says, "Please, sir," says he can't do anything, he can't move or anything. Dexterity. Does a 10 break your dexterity, DC?
No.
Nope. He struggles, he's like, "Sir, I surrender. Please let me go. You can keep the loot." Colt Fanatic and Shadow. I guess Shadow sees two people giving up right now. Well, one person giving up, the other one is stuck in vines giving up.
Alright, and Dalin's still like stabbing the shit out of this dead guy.
Yep.
Okay. Shadow's going to go around to the back of Thalin and like try to grab his belt or something and pull him away. So I'm gonna try and like interrupt his blood rush.
Well, we're gonna do strength versus strength. So I want Shadow to make a strength check and Thalion to make a strength check with advantage.
Oh, fine. I want to lose this, I think, for the record.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better than I thought. Okay. 21 from my boy Shadow.
What'd you get, Did you roll a nat 20?
20.
Oh wait, it's a nat 20, but it's still less than 21.
Yeah.
What?
Should be.
You don't have a strength modifier?
No.
Oh.
Oh, that's right, because he's a rogue. But you still, as Shadow grabs his belt and pulls back, he rips Thalion's belt off and comes back with belt in his mouth. And Shadow looks at you, greenly like.
It's a good boy,
This,
you tried. It's a good boy.
His trousers fall down as well, please. So he's stabbing him with his pants out in the air.
No, he grabs the belt, keep it PG.
Just like cute little underpants, just showing now while he's stabbing like an idiot. With little hearts on
You know
them.
what?
Yeah.
Let's make it. Instead, he reached for his belt. Instead, grabbed his cloak and ripped off a piece of his cloak. All right, he still has his pants on.
All right, fine.
Aw. No sense for the comedian there.
Oh my god. Greenlia.
All right, then I'll try. I look at Shadow. I see him try to pull his cloak. It doesn't work, and I can see the other two are giving up. So I'm gonna try and actually thorn whip the body. Well, it's prone, so I probably have disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage on ranged attacks.
All right, I'll try and get Thalin then. I'll try and like.
What's your movement?
Whip him out. Wait.
Are you
Whip it
gonna-
up to, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm gonna whip him. Whip him real good.
Have to move closer.
Okay.
Roll attack.
Oh yes, that's 25.
I'm assuming that definitely wraps Alan. Roll your damage.
All right, hopefully this is low damage. Oh, there we go. 1 damage, and
Take
he was
one.
pulled 10 feet toward me. Just trying to break him out of it.
Don't you have to have a strength check, or is it automatically?
No, if it hits, it automatically does it.
It pulls him 10 feet, but it's still enough where he's still stabbing. So basically, you wrap him, you pull him over the body as he's still stabbing.
Snap out of it, dude. Oh, I still have movement. Right?
Yeah,
How
I
much
moved
do have
you.
to
I
use?
moved you 10 feet to get close enough for the whip.
Okay. I will just move up closer, right next to him, and go, snap out of it, man.
And I just keep saying, he has to die, he has to die. As this guy.
You don't even
You
hear.
did a
You
good
don't
job.
even hear her
Mother.
at all.
Okay.
You don't even hear her at all. You get that dark tunnel vision filled with blood in your eyes. You don't even hear her. Alrighty, Dominos.
Yeah. I'm just like, enough. And I use a mind sliver on Thalin.
What's that?
It's a cantrip attack magic.
Is it an attack?
Yeah.
All right, roll your attack.
It's intelligence saving.
Oh, it is a saving throw. So roll Thalen, roll an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
What's the
13 or
DC?
better to save.
Okay.
No, we got a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, 9. Are you pierces?
Yeah.
What's it say you do? You just deal damage to him?
Yeah, I'll do damage to him, yeah.
Alright. Do damage.
So that's 3 damage as like my eyes turn black and I just reach my hand towards him and just grab together. And there's like the small shadows in his hair and around his hood just squeak into his head, into his mind. And this is like this voice he hears in his mind saying, "Stop!" and put him in pain.
Alright, I'll play it like this. So, Thalen, give me another wisdom saving throw.
That is a 13.
As you do that, you shout these words, but you can tell it falls on deaf ears as the blood in his eyes. At this point, the blood is coming out of his face, running down, coming out of his eyes, running down his face. Still stabbing like a madman. But you can see that if you tried a little bit harder, you feel like it would have worked.
Yeah.
Mortlock. Oh, he's giving up. I'm gonna club him. Oh. Let's see. Does that work?
Oh, it's heartless.
He goes to hit him and he just misses. Divine, like, as you're doing this where you're channel divinity, Divine comes up and it blots Mortlock's club. It's like, what the? This one right here. I want to initially get ripped. I skipped his turn, but I guess it really doesn't matter. He's writing on the wall. Bolts. And he dashes. Out. He's gone. Italian. Wisdom saving throw, bud.
Ah, come on, come on. That's a 12.
Oh! You still feel the blood in the gore that you wish to get carnage on this corpse and starts keep stabbing. Blood flying everywhere. Dira.
I got nothing this turn unless we want to do some damage to him.
It's your turn. You can do whatever you want. They're giving up in front. They're giving up in front of you, so you can either choose just to talk to them or what.
I'm gonna back off with Dominos and try to talk with them. See if we can end this.
I mean, you're right there with them. What are you gonna do? You gonna talk to them, or what are you gonna do? You gotta tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
We will hand over the mask and the crown if you guys will peacefully walk away. Leave the rest of the chests. Take these and go.
Listen here. The one that's dead over there, your guy is viciously killing. He's the one who wanted this stuff here. I'm just a simple man, follower of her. I don't really care about any of this stuff. He ordered us to come help. You can keep everything. Just let me live with my life, and I'll go back to my family, and then I'll drop this charade. What do you say?
Not a word of this to anybody, and you can go.
You sure? You're not gonna, like, shoot me in the back or anything when I'm leaving?
No. Although you might want to move quickly before Stabby gets loose.
You're right. And sure enough, it's his turn. And he's gone. Unless you want to attack him as he's leaving. You still have the attack of opportunity because he left your range.
Nah.
Homeboy's dead. Alrighty. Old Street still in the vine, wanting to give up. It's up to you guys. I'm sorry, Melodus, you're up. You're up. I'm sorry.
Yep. And so now that this individual is pretty much held within the vines, and I'm also noticing and hearing that people are scurrying away, I look behind me and I see that two of them have already gone. And at this point, I say, do you want to join your fellow companions and leave with your life? If so, I will release the vines.
Yes, please. I'm sorry. We're sorry we did this. The guy over there that's dead, he's the one escorting this. He ordered us to do it. We don't care that much. We're just like simple people that follow Tiamat.
And then speak nothing of this to anyone, or else the next time I see you, your life will be mine.
Yes, yes, yes. Of course. Anything you say. Anything you say.
Now, of course, me being, the Order of the Gauntlet, that was a false threat, but he doesn't know that. And I released the vines in hopes that he doesn't decide to attack me.
Yep. And it's his turn. So if you're not doing anything else, I'm gonna take off. Mortlock! He wants to club heads.
Use him to knock out McStabby back there.
Mortlock is not that bright, so I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that definitely hits. Seven points of damage. Ooh. As he turns to leave, Mortlock clubs him in the back. Literally cleaves half his back skin off and everything, blood pouring out. He's screaming for his life. He looks messed up. It's about right there. He looks fucked up. And it's up to you guys. We're pretty much out of combat now, so unless anybody wants to chase after him and kill him, that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
Alright. Just gotta rest the scene for it. So this was the end of the road where I told y'all last time. Because this is where the courtyard, where the bathhouse is, when you're coming out the door. And then this road leads out to the main road. In front of you, you got this warehouse-looking building. What do y'all want to do?
I would like to try the attack on Talon again.
Oh yeah, he's still stabbing the guy. Give me another wisdom saving. Give me a wisdom saving. Oh, it's his turn first. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not. It is your turn, so go ahead and attack him.
It wasn't good enough throw anyway.
Yeah. I do the same again, so I need an intelligence saving throw from Talon.
13.
Is that good enough?
It says attack save 13, so is it enough?
Yeah, he saves. He saves from it.
Um,
So you don't do any damage, right?
No, I can't do it. I won't do any damage, no.
Oh, no,
Oh,
he's still
Shadow.
stabbing away.
I'll have Shadow do a backup and
Oh, well,
take a run at him.
wait, 1 second. Because I hit them with the first one, it also subtracts 1d4 from the next saving throw he does.
Okay.
Before the end of my turn, so his intelligence saving throw.
So he
has
doesn't
to
take
roll
any
1d4.
damage, but he adds a negative D4 to his net saving throw. That
And
any
he took damage. He took damage in the round before. That's why for his next saving throw now, he has subtracts 1d4.
I got 1, so I got a 12 on my saving throw.
it doesn't matter because he only met your save, so he fails.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now roll me a wisdom saving throw. How much?
And he takes 3 damage.
You take 3 damage, and now Thalion roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, there we go. I hope that's good. 17.
As you take this damage, it shoots through your brain and breaks the barrier that's holding your brain, and the blood washes away and your eyes come back and you come back to like your normal stance. And you have blood all over you.
Yeah.
Do I remember do I know what just happened? Like, do I remember?
Oh, you don't forget.
Okay, fine. So,
Actually, no, you're right. Because we have been played that way, you don't remember. So yeah, you don't remember what just happened.
okay.
You have
So,
no clue. You're just standing over this bloody corpse with blood all over you. You do not know what happened.
As I sort of working out what's going on, I look at the thousands at this point of stab wounds in this body, and I look at the dagger in my hand covered in blood, and sort of breathing heavily. I get up, I look around, I see everyone sort of staring at me. I assume quite, sort of worry on their faces, and I just stand there in silence, looking around, waiting for someone to say something.
You're all right.
I don't. What did I do?
Well, this is the second time it's happened. Actually, you killed someone, and then they were
It's
quite
actually
dead.
it's actually the third time it's happened.
Third time, thing, you get like a blood haze, and you like freak out, and you just keep stabbing the corpse over and over. I don't know what comes over you, but your eyes turn all red, and it's not good.
Were they a bad person? Have I done the wrong thing?
Why, yes, of course you've done the wrong thing. And we nearly had to hurt you badly just to stop you. This is not something that I would expect from a high elf. What is wrong with you?
I mean, was what he did technically bad? Because he did take out the dude that was masterminding this whole dang thing.
Yes, but he has no control over himself.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done this in the first place for this stupid loot. And with that, I'm throwing the porcelain dragon at him.
The porcelain dragon at him?
Yeah.
Do a unarmed strike.
4.
Yeah, you throw it, but you didn't realize how heavy it was as you go to throw it. Did you feel it's like it's porcelain, but it has some kind of heaviness to it, or you're just not strong enough, and you throw it, it goes about 5 feet in front of you and drops to the ground. And you're like, holy crap, that was heavy.
Does it like shatter?
Nope. It's chipped up now, but it's not shattered. Actually, no, it's porcelain. Yeah, it's shattered. It's shattered.
Porcelain would shatter.
Good, I made the point I wanted to make.
All right.
For this stupid trinket, you just have infuriated another fucking cult after we just got rid of one. What were you thinking, thief?
Now, Dominos, I did see that dagger of his light up before.
You did not see that. You did not see that.
I did not?
No. It light up in his grip of his hand.
I thought he was behind me, like right in front of me, so...
It only lights up when he kills somebody, so you did not see it.
Okay. All right, well, then at this point, I guess I didn't see it, so...
You did
His
not.
frenzy was bad enough, but he shouldn't even have started this stupid fight.
Darling, where did you get that dagger?
I've had it as long as I can remember. I've never really used it though. I found some cultists in the forest. It's been so long, and I found the dagger next to the body of my sister, and I took it, which, looking as I sort of look around, which is probably not a very smart thing to do. but I kept it with me to remind myself why I was doing any of this, why I was trying to help people, why I was trying to do the right thing. But I'd never used it. I didn't seem right to, until recently, when it was the only thing I had, when I was with the cultists, when I was caught by them, when it was the only thing I had on me. And I felt it called to me. And so I used it, and I don't know if I can stop.
First of all, I'm very sorry about your sister. Didn't know. I feel like perhaps this dagger is not good for you. Perhaps it's an evil dagger, cursed or something. Have you ever tried to, now that you've started using it, can you put it down and not use it now? Or does it have like a hold on you?
I look at it in my hands, I sort of holding it tightly in my grip, and I try to let go, and I just can't quite bring myself to get rid of it. I'm not sure I can.
Well, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Can any of us inspect the dagger? I don't want to hold it, seeing as how you have a bloodlust every time that you have it on you.
Yeah, I think take it from me wouldn't be good for any of us, but and I sort of hold it out towards my ears, and like you can have a look if you want.
I could try and have Shadow take it.
No.
I mean, he can't wield it.
Well, we don't know if Shadow will become bloodlust himself and start coming after us.
True.
I've got a spell.
So I'd like to inspect it. Would anyone else?
How are you inspecting it?
I'm doing a history check. Woohoo! A 19.
Judging because you're from the order and all that, you do not recognize this blade at all. At all. You inspect it. It's golden. Has like some runes on it. What kind of languages do you speak?
Hold on. Sorry.
Has
Languages
has a language on there, and I'm trying to figure out if you can read it.
Language. Where would I see my language? Languages. Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
It is infernal. You read it. I mean, Sally, say what it's named. I forgot what it's named. Has a name on it.
It is called Death's Sting, Reaver of Eternal Rest.
And that's what you read on it. But you do, that's all you can see about it. It's golden color with the language inscribed on the blade.
Death Sting, Weaver of. Say that again?
Eternal life.
Eternal life.
Eternal Rest.
Eternal rest, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if this name of the dagger itself has anything to do with it, but other than being able to read that, I don't know nothing of this dagger.
And Nadira said she had a spell.
Yeah, but I don't think it would do us much good. All it really will do is tell us if there's any magic within his dagger or not.
What spell are you talking about?
I've got detect magic.
Yeah, detect magic will let you know if it's magical.
Yeah,
I mean,
And then so
try.
Do you also have another spell I thought you were talking about?
active identify?
Yes, I do have identify.
We could use that. That would tell us all the details about the dagger.
The only downside is that requires me to touch it.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then.
I think if I'm still holding it, you should be able to touch it.
You have to release the dagger, and she has to do a ritual for it.
Look, I want to know what this
Can
is.
you-
If you want to do whatever you did to me before, if you want to restrain me, hold me back.
Can you
I-
just
I-
put it on the ground and stay nearby, but just not touch it? And maybe she can just like have it near her instead of actually touching it? I don't
I
know how
have
it
to
works.
touch it. I have to be touching it.
But look, yeah, I've put you guys in enough risk today. We didn't need to pick a fight with another cult. I'm not putting you guys in a position where I'm going to be a risk to any of you. If you want to restrain me, hold me back whilst you carry out this ritual and whilst you find out, I want to find out what this is as much as any of you guys do.
Identify isn't a ritual. It's an instantaneous spell.
And I'm unable to use because I have 3 slots on my divine sense or my divine channel divinity, right?
Yep.
Would I be able to?
So
at this point,
you can do that. It just tells you if there's any undead or fiend within 30 feet of you, I think it is. That's not inhibited by a wall or anything.
Okay. All right. Well, then I mean, it makes no sense to use that. But I mean, nature's wrath to hold him. But then again, no, I'm not trying to do that.
Valiant, you do recall when you grabbed it, it took some time for you to get used to it. To
Imagine
learn
you have to
to
be attuned.
Does anyone know how I can become unattuned? I imagine I have to let someone else take it to not be attuned, but I don't know what will happen to me if I let that happen.
We can also
Well-
just let him go. With the danger he brings to this group.
No, let's not talk nonsense.
I mean,
So
he
if
has a
it's an
point.
if it's an instant spell,
If I
then
use... Oh, sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
If I use identify, it would give me allow me to know everything and anything we need to know about what we're dealing with, how to attune to it, what consequences could come from it. We know everything.
Can I not just let you touch the blade while I'm still holding it?
you don't even want to do that. It won't let you do that.
Right. Okay.
Well, we could all hold you because you're not gonna let her take it. So maybe we all hold you, and she performs the spell while we're holding you, so that you can't run away with it.
Want to keep him in place so we can figure this out.
All right.
Or knock him out. I mean, I don't know what y'all want to do. So y'all gonna try to hold him in
Well-
place?
I mean, if you lay on the ground, Sido could sit on you. That could be a part of it. He's very big.
Now to keep in mind, you still have to pull the dagger out of his hand to actually do what you want to do to it.
Yeah, so maybe if you lay on the ground, Shadow can sit on you. You lay like a snow angel, except, you know, the arms out. And then we like sit on you and hold you down, and we just like wrench it out of your grasp. And you'll buck like a bronco, but we'll hold you down.
That sounds like the best plan we've got.
Why don't we have Morlock and Shadow sit on him? 2 bigger people of our group.
That's a good idea.
Oh, crush him with skull? Crush his skull in with bow?
No, stop it. Put that club down. You can use it later.
I can use it now?
No, you've used it enough, don't you think?
Okay.
Ah,
What you want me to do?
Do you want the head or the butt?
Morlock
the
just
better
doesn't really
question.
understand and walks up behind him and attempts to grapple him. Roll me a contested strength check there, Valiant.
Can we just have Morlock hold him? Like big old bear hug?
12.
Yeah, he rolled a 19, so he's got you in his grasp. Okay, I got
Shadow
him.
would be... All right, good job, Mortlock. Shadow would be back up.
If he's grappled, does it give advantage on attack rolls?
Well, let me check.
I
Grapple.
think that's restrained.
He grappled. His speed is moved by 0. That's condition. Nope. Basically, he has a chance to try to break out, so it's just to be more contested. But he cannot move. He can attack. Yep. No, he just cannot move. He can still make attacks and stuff. He just can't move.
So he can still attack you people, even if he's grappled.
Yay.
So I would like to walk up to him, just like in a nice small distance to him, and cast Chaos Bolt on Talent.
Okay.
Come on. 13, does that hit? Probably not.
15 arm class. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's struggling so much because Mortlow's got him and Mortlow's holding him like this. He moves right when you cast it and it just goes wide.
Well, are you thinking knock him out?
Yes.
Well, then we should let Mortlock club him if that's the case.
Yeah,
Well, Mortlow's got him
him
grappled, so
club him
unless, Melos wants to do his shield thing again.
And break his neck? Probably.
And then to our last one.
Yeah, we all know what happened the last time that I've used my shield. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Well, to be fair, that guy only had 1 health, so.
This is true. This is true.
Every make
Shadow to knock him out.
Actually, you know what? I'd like to try use an ensnaring
Why
strike.
don't you? A what?
This is no, I think I can't. No. I don't think I can use an ensnaring strike on him. It's kind of like the Channel Divinity's.
Mortlow's like, just grab the dagger out of his hand. I got him. He's not doing anything.
Well, at this point, who's grabbing the dagger?
My spell, so.
Guess so.
Got this.
Who's doing what?
I'm gonna walk up to Thalin and wrap my cloak around the dagger and try to pry it out of his hands.
Give me a strength check. And Thalion, give me a strength check with disadvantage since you're grappled.
Yes, got a 4. Wait, what?
You rolled a 3?
Yeah, I rolled
Is that a
three.
strength check or you just roll a regular check?
That was a strength check.
Actually, roll with advantage because Mortlow's got him.
Wow.
Mortlow's got him, so you roll advantage, he rolls with disadvantage. Yeah, go and roll again. Roll twice. Having the wizard try to do.
Okay, I like that better.
Alright, you're able to pry it out of his hands while he. Thalion, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I've got a 10. can I just say I'm sorry before I absolutely freak out?
No, you're absolutely freaking out
Right.
because you're now separated from the dagger. But Mortlock still got you. Give me a strength check.
Shadow's helping Mortlock hold him, by the way. They have to contest again.
Thank God.
It doesn't matter because Mortlock rolled a natural 19 unless
Got 16.
Mortlock still got him. So you're casting Identify, so mark that off.
Yep, I cast Identify.
Alright. I'll update the dagger after the stream, but here's what it says. Basically what it says. This dagger was forged in Bale's furnace. Or what's the term for armory? Forge. Bale's forge. Anybody that's killed by this dagger, their souls are sent to Avernus to live in Avernus, not rest at peace. And to become servants of Bale. The person wielding this dagger is cursed by blood and lust. Blood and the thirst for blood. Each time the person kills somebody, has to make a wisdom saving throw of 15. Upon failing the wisdom saving throw, the rage takes over their body and they have to keep stabbing. They lose all control.
What do we do here, folks?
Oh, and it also says that Bale himself forged this blade.
Okay, well, we need to get rid of it somehow. Is there any lava nearby? Just throw it in there.
Take it to Mount Doom.
Oh yeah. It also says it cannot.
Small trick.
Thanks for reminding me, Granlia. Since it was forged in Bale's forge, that's the only place it can be destroyed.
Okay. So we need to hide it or do
Just like the
something.
One Ring to rule them all, it was created in the volcano. That's the only place it can be destroyed.
Perhaps if we just hide it for long enough, he'll, like, get over it? I don't know how these things work.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Me?
No, Granlia, since she said it. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, you're right. As part of your Identify spell, you know everything about it. I'm sorry, I forgot. You have to attune to it. It takes an hour to attune to it. To break the attunement, you would know this since you're a magical person. Break the attunement, you have to be separated from the dagger, I think at 1,000 yards or 24 hours.
We could do that.
Break the attunement.
Yeah, okay, how are we gonna keep him away from it for 24 hours?
Well,
Have
we
to
leave.
take shifts, I imagine.
We leave the damn thing.
Yeah, okay, now what's to stop him from coming back when we take a rest?
We're gonna have to constantly.
He's gonna have to have
But let's
somebody
just tie him
to
off.
him to keep him in spot.
I go over and start tying him up while we're talking.
Roll me a strength check, Thalion.
That is a 4.
Yeah, you're still grappled by Portlock.
Cool.
We can bring the dagger into the vault of the Flaming Fist, who are able to take care of it and keep him away from it.
That's a great idea. If we lock it up so it's safe, he can try and get it all he wants, but he won't be able to.
Indeed.
But we have to get him away from it. That's the problem.
Oh, I want to clarify. I think I said it wrong. So any person that's killed by this dagger, their soul is sent to Avernus to be a servant of Bale.
Mm-hmm.
That means the internal rest part. They do not rest.
Did you say it was 1,000 yards for 24 hours, or it's 1,000?
It's either or.
Yeah. Okay. Because 1,000 yards isn't that far, right?
All right. Well, I could just have Shadow run away with it until his legs get tired. That's probably far enough.
Shadow goes to it and refuses to touch it.
Well, maybe we could. I'd take a piece of like fabric and put it in like one of those bundles, like they do with like a hobo sack.
This runs the danger, though, that anyone else finds this dagger
Ugh,
and
that's true.
falls victim to it. I think we should bring it to the Flaming Fist Vault. Don't say much about it, just that it has to be kept safe. And I trust the guards to not touch it.
Okay. What are we doing? Because he's still fighting to try to get it back. Even though he's
Let's
tied
do it
up.
quickly. I still tie it up and I hand it to Domino's.
Yeah. I take it.
People, one small problem there. I'm still holding it from my spell.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're
hand it to me, and I make sure it goes with the Flaming Fist.
Or hear me out here. My cape, or cloak, I guess, has this nifty little gift of teleportation. Can easily get 1,000 yards out of here without him having any inclination. And after a rest, I could easily come back.
what's the range on that?
I don't know.
300 feet. It's only goes. You can only up to 300 feet.
Oh, fantastic. Well, 300 feet would get me out of sight.
It doesn't change. He's drawn to it.
Yes, son of a bitch. No, screw it. I'll hand it over to Domino's and go quickly.
All right. Well, he's still tied up. Are you tying him? Where are you? Like, you having more like just carry him tied up as he's fighting him?
Yep. You can carry him like over his shoulder, like potato sack style.
Roll me a strength check with disadvantage. If you fight this.
What? Oh, 2 nat 20s.
Wow.
You fall off his arm and you break free. And you start lunging for the dagger from Domino's.
Shadow is waiting and we'll try and grab him.
Strength check.
Okay.
It doesn't even matter because Mortlock used his reaction to grapple him and rolled a nat 20.
Okay, I got 5.
Yeah, Mortlock grapples you again.
Shadow got a 1 anyway.
And he's going to help the team out. Takes his blunt end of his club. I'm assuming 19 hits.
Yeah.
You're knocked out.
Okay.
I got it, guys.
Solve that problem. I guess I take the dagger into my inventory then.
All right. Yeah, you can put the dagger in your inventory. I home brewed it so you can look for it and add it and just throw it in your bag.
Okay.
It'll be attuned to it. You have to actually literally be touching it for an hour to attune to it, so you're not in fear of it. Just keep in mind for the next 24 hours, he's still going to be wanting it back. He knows where it's at, kind of like a locate. He'll be drawn to it.
I wanted to avoid trying to have to say this out loud because I was using the chat, but my keyboard is not working. I got to get the little one down. We close to break.
How long would it take?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we only have 45 minutes left, so do you want to just push through?
I got to put her down. So
I mean, you can put her down, but does everybody else still want to push through?
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, either way.
We can push through and finish this out because I have no more encounters planned, so
Cool. You get to take the lead for me, brother.
that's fine. Is there anything you want to do before you go?
No. At this point, he's restrained and he's knocked out. I've got no further actions.
All right, cool. All right, so we're back here, like I said, where you knocked him out. Like I said, you have this building in front of you, and back in the street. What's everybody doing?
I would probably leave and go to the Flaming Fist.
You go by yourself?
I think so. Because I have to give my report, get the dagger away, and have some business to attend to, so probably will stay away for a day.
Okay. Try to get more. Alright, so he leaves. Alright, cool.
Yeah.
What else? Who else is doing anything?
I'll just be on Felon Watch with Shadow and Matlock.
Joiner, I want to check him just to make sure that we didn't do any serious damage to his brain.
Oh, and before we leave, I want to check the body of the leader guy.
Oh yeah, that would be useful.
Da-da-da-da. All he was a spellcaster, so he didn't really have anything on him.
Okay.
But you do have this building in front of you, which I'll remind you, Adair, what that building is. I told you what it was.
It's like a
Storage warehouse kind of place.
warehouse, yeah.
Well, do we want to take him and move into there just to get us off the streets so we're not, standing here with
Probably.
an unconscious
I don't know. So you
body?
leaving right away, or what? Are you staying with the party? Dominus,
Sorry?
are you staying with them or leaving right away?
I think I will leave right away and get the dagger as far away from him as possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
the
works.
sooner he's gone, the better
Yeah.
chance we have.
Or do we begin walking in the opposite direction to help speed up the process? Because how far away is the Flaming Fist vault? Is it 1,000 yards?
I'm not quite sure where it's like Ryugen.
It's not made by Ball. It's made by Bell.
Oh.
B-E-L, not Ball. And if you want to leave, I just need another camera for take place of Andreas's cam. So if anybody has a second camera they want to throw in.
I mean, I can stay for a little bit longer. It's just for the story's sake.
All right.
It makes sense for him to leave.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
For right now, let's go ahead and move into the storage. Just to get us off the street while we figure out more of what to do.
Adara, you want to... So, Adara, this warehouse was the last stop for all the treasure and stuff to be shipped out before going to its final destination. All the stuff they raided and stuff. So in this warehouse, you have a set of 5 barrels in the middle of the building, 6 crates to the back right over there. Then you have 4 more crates, and then a shelf that might have some trinkets and stuff on it. And then there's a right here by the doors y'all just came in is a chest.
I'd like to do I want to investigate the crates back to the right to see if there's anything useful in them that we can use to barricade the door to keep Thalen in.
So you just moving the crates to the door, or you just
Want to look in the crates first?
4 of the sits are empty as they were getting prepped to load the stuff that you presume that you guys just took out. The other one has 300 gold pieces in it, with 300 gold pieces, 200 silver pieces, and 50 copper in the other 2 crates. In a small chest. That's what's in them.
Okay, what about, can I do an investigation on the 4 crates against the wall?
I just told you what's all in them. I gave that there freebie. You don't have to even do an investigation. I should have had you do an investigation, but that's what's in those crates. They're not that
The
hard.
6 in the back corner?
Yep.
I was talking about the 4 essentially in front of my figure.
Oh, you're talking about those.
Yes.
You find 5 dragon statues worth 25 gold pieces each. They're platinum. I'm sorry. They're gold. Gold statues, not platinum. Platinum's worth more.
Well, do we want to try to use these and barricade the door? At least use the crates. If anything, they'll slow them down a little bit.
Are there any other exits besides this door? It looks like
There's-
that's the only one.
That's
Or
that
is there
door,
another
and
one?
you have this door right here. There's 2 doors in the building.
Well, between them, there's 10 crates. We could split it 5 and 5. If anything, it'll slow them down.
Well, I guess it depends on how long we plan to stay here. I mean, are we going to wait for 24 hours, or are we going to try and get further away? And we never discussed where we're going to meet back up. Oh, this is a mess.
Yeah, do we? Well, my best bet is, our guess would be,
Well, actually, Greenlee, you were told before you joined the party that Elwood went to investigate the Low Lantern Tavern, and he told you guys to meet him there.
Oh, all right.
Totally
Fantastic.
forgot to tell you that. He told that to Dominus, but Dominus is not there anymore.
that's what I was about to say.
But Dominus told you that when you woke up. No, I totally forgot to tell you. I mean, what do y'all want to do with this room? So you just putting up here.
Our main problem lies is we don't know how long the.
I will tell you the
Thalen can be out
other places you have not searched is the shells and the barrels.
or the barrels.
Well, we could keep looking and see what else is in here first.
If you'll search the barrels, I'll take the shelf.
All right, that sounds good.
If you're searching the shelf, it's not hard to find. It's nothing hidden. You open it up, you find 4 platinum rings worth 10 gold pieces each. Worth of platinum each, basically. Searching the barrels, you find 30 platinum pieces stuffed like in a hidden compartment in one of the barrels, and you find this wand in another one.
All right. Found a magical thing in here. Might want to take a look.
You know it's
And
magical?
What?
Do you know it's magical?
Well, I know what a wand looks like, right? Because I have one. Or I don't know.
Because it's a wand doesn't mean it's magical.
All right, I'll cast.
No, it's not a
Quick
wand.
Magic.
It's a rod. I'm sorry.
Oh, a rod.
It's a rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do detect magic anyway. I'll use my wand to make a detect magic spell.
If you'll do that, I'll run identify again.
Well,
Okay.
just mark. Well, she's already said it, so mark a charge off of. Well, she's already done it, so mark a charge off your wand,
Okay.
and you see a not super, but like it's glowing gold, like a gold-looking glow. And you're using another spell slot. Well, no, it's a ritual. No, it's not a ritual. So you mark off your another first level spell for identify.
Yep, that would be 2.
You can go ahead and add Rod of Smiles to your inventory. When you point it at somebody, the person has to make a DC save of 15. I think it's 15 I wrote.
Do you know how to reset the charges? It says reset other. Do you know how to do that in D&D Beyond, or is it?
You have to actually go into the item. All right, I added to your inventory Rod of Smiles. So basically, the target has to succeed on a 15 Christmas saving throw. If they fail, they have to smile for 1 minute.
That would be slightly terrifying.
I whisper to Adira, should we cast it on Thalin? Well, actually, I'm assuming you shared that information. Maybe you didn't.
Yeah, we'll share the information.
Okay.
Quiet, no secrets. Now, I was thinking on our glum friend who just left.
Oh, no, that would be awesome. As soon as he comes around the corner, you're just like, bam, right in the face. That'd be great. I support this decision.
And then you rolled a natural 1, and I'm frowning forever.
No, it's going to be a natural 20, I know it.
No, he has to DC save. It's not a.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, I hope you get a natural 1. And you end up with like a Joker smile, and it goes like all the way up here, and it's super creepy.
All right, so somebody wrote down all that coin you just got and all the items.
No, I only wrote down my stuff, but I can write it down if you say it again.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we get a rehash of that, please? So we can figure out how to divide it with everybody.
Oh, you didn't write it down?
No.
Shoot. Made all that stuff off the top of my head. Let's see. 5 gold.
I know the barrels had 30 platinum and the Wand of Smiles. I think there was like 300 gold.
Yep.
And then something else.
I remember hearing 300 too, but I think that was in the corner crates.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, 300 gold. 200 silver. 50 copper pieces. 5 golden dragons worth 25 gold each. And you found the platinum rings worth a platinum each, 5 of them.
Yeah, the 4 platinum rings.
And then she got the Rod of Smiles, and she wrote down the coin. And about this time, Alan, you start coming back to consciousness. You no longer feel that urge to grab the dagger.
Yeah.
Because he took the dagger away from him.
Yeah, I get up, I'm just breathing a little bit easier, and I just sort of look down at the ground and I just thank you so much for giving me my life back.
Are you feeling better?
I'm not thinking about murdering everyone I see, so yeah.
I would like.
Does this mean your mood's going to start improving slightly?
So
I would like to do an insight check on you.
Roll an insight check.
Next step is getting him off the heroin.
Hey, I can quit when I want. That's fine.
An 8.
Were you telling the truth, Diane?
What?
You could tell he's still kind of groggy from the effects.
It's clearly evil.
You can still,
werewolf.
Obviously.
you can tell he's a little groggy from the effects, and he's still gathering himself. But you can feel like since he's telling the truth.
All right, should we untie him?
Maybe not just yet.
All right. Should we wait a full 24 hours just to be safe?
Yeah,
I mean, you learn by when you learn by identify, you learn those are the two options. That's what you learn from the identify, either or.
Are you feeling safe enough to go out in public, or are you going to bolt on us?
Look, when I had it, I knew where it was at all times. I felt it draw to me, and even when Avernus sort of was starting to walk away with it, I could feel a pull towards it. I wouldn't know where to go even if I did want it at the minute. I don't have a connection to it. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, good news is we have like 20,000 extra daggers if you need a replacement for the moment.
I will take a boring old dagger any day at this point. I don't need a fancy dagger.
Shadow goes over and starts like licking the blood off your face.
Aww.
Shadow, that's kind of gross, but I know you're trying to
it's
be
a bit
nice.
much, but I sort of resist at first, but then I let him.
Oh, what are y'all doing now? Y'all staying in this warehouse, or what are y'all doing?
Well, we should definitely take the coin, right? Or do you want to leave it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it never hurts to have a little extra, right?
Well, I mean, of course.
Really hoping y'all get some new NPC.
So, I guess we'll just hang on to it for now and split it up later, or I don't know. We don't have to split it up, I guess, but
Let's hang on to it for now, and as when Dominus gets back, we can discuss splitting it. But in my time here, I do recall there's a tavern in town. If we wanted to go there, grab some food, grab something to drink, I'm sure that would help Thalion feel better. A little less groggy.
sure.
Which tavern y'all going to?
Talon's buying the drinks, so it's up to you.
That'll help me feel a little less groggy. Let's go get some drinks. So what? They went to the Low Lantern Tavern, didn't they, to check it out?
That's where Elwood went. Yes.
I've just been. I don't know if that's where. If there are going to be, unsavory characters there, but I've just been beaten up by 2 different sets of cultists and my friends, so I don't want to pick any fights anytime soon.
The good news is if we do end up getting into a fight, we don't have to worry about you killing half the people.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is really that you kill them after they're already dead, and you just keep stabbing their poor lifeless corpse. It's very awkward.
So we feel bad for them while they're dead and not while they're alive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're just not gonna admit to that in front of Lilitis, because then he'll never stop.
Well, Melias chimes in and says, "Well, I know where the Low Lantern Tavern is because he's went there with our last guy that just died,
Brock?
With
Brock. He went there with Brock, so he knows where it's at." I don't know if y'all want to go there or if y'all want to go to El Son Tavern, the other tavern that you know that you started out at.
Let's
It's about
hit the low-
8 o'clock in the
low-
evening.
Let's hit the low lantern. See if they're still offering food. It is rather late, so we can see and go from there.
About this time, Domino's, you reach the Flaming Fist.
Do I go and give my report to the captain?
And what do you report?
I report to him that we have successfully found out the hideout of the cult and destroyed the cult. And I will tell him about what Mortlock told us about the plans of his mother and his brother.
There's a very you talking to Captain Zodge?
Yeah.
Captain Zodge is like, glad to hear it. That is very disturbing about the Venthyr family. Sadly, we still can't be sure, because if she is funding them, that means we need to eradicate her too. And are y'all going straight after her? Or are you going to take on the brother Admiric? What's y'all's plan?
Have a think and ask him whether it's wise to go after one of the most powerful families in town like this. How will we approach this?
Well, Domino's, she's trying to undermine us too. As one of my leading commanders, lieutenants, I expect you to handle this for me. And I don't want you to stop until it's taken care of. And she's instrumental of sending our Grand Duke, the leader of the Flaming Fist, to his demise. We will hold no restraint.
Understood. Can you give me any support for this mission?
Sadly, no, I can't. They're still tied up with all these refugees, and on good faith. Let me take care of it.
I will. Can I ask for the gold for destruction of the cult, as we might need this to
Well, we don't know.
buy things?
We don't know if they're finished yet. If she's funding the cult, she probably sells cult members there at her place. So we still need to make sure it's gone. I'm still having people gathering all the funds for you guys. I will do this for you. How about this? On a token of good faith, I'll add one more 100 coin to each of y'all's payments. So it'd be a total 300 gold coin for you guys to finish this out, since it goes higher up than I feared.
Understood. I will see it done.
Anything else I can help you with?
Not at this moment in time.
Okay.
Then I'll probably take a little rest in my... I'm sure I have chambers there within the Flaming Fist. That's one of the offices.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. I didn't think about that. So yeah, sure. Hey,
Yeah.
guess you have your own little private office.
Yeah. So take a little rest there. Before I guess I make my way to the tavern.
What about the dagger? Go.
You're not there.
You're not there. Before I make my way to the tavern.
No good, rotten. Devil.
He's probably trying to keep it for himself.
Of course he is. He's Domino's. Come on.
As far as y'all know, he's already turned it over.
Yeah, well, we'll see about
All
that.
right.
Well,
You take.
the curse is broken, so we're all good.
Yep.
I'll let everybody take a short rest. So you can roll X amount of hit dice of your total hit dice, and if you have lost life or whatever. So Everybody heading to the Low Lantern Tavern.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, y'all go shopping. Okay. Because I keep in mind, you still have 4 crates of like gold and treasure and everything. You're still lugging around.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
we need to put this somewhere safe.
Yeah. We could go and sell everything. I think we should do the shopping when everyone is around to see what they need and what we should get. But we
So
could
maybe-
sell stuff.
I mean, so you guys were at the warehouse waiting for Domino's to come back, right?
Yeah,
That's-
we haven't quite left yet. We could store everything here and keep it hidden for the time being.
Well, if this is a depot of sorts, then someone might be coming to pick it up. Or did we just kill them? I don't know. Maybe we just put everything at the hotel or whatever. Tavern,
Yeah.
wherever we're staying.
Yeah, you have enough people there to carry everything. With
So we could bring it back to our rooms and store it there for now.
You currently don't have rooms right now.
Oh, never mind.
Because you pay for that first night of the El Sun Tavern for your rooms, but you haven't paid for another night. Y'all left that morning, but didn't pay for another night. So you currently do not have rooms anywhere.
We've got enough gold pieces here that if we need a room, we can get a room.
yeah.
Hey,
What
Yeah,
y'all
you
want
guys
to?
probably should head to the tavern and then get a room there, store it, and then the next day we will
Which
think
tavern?
about the things.
Which tavern do we want to go to?
The one that Elwood
Lantern.
said.
But
Yeah.
didn't he say that he was getting the room while he was there?
He only
What
said
is
that
it?
he's going to scout there.
I mean, are y'all together? Because he's still at the Flaming Fest.
Yeah.
so
Unless
we
you want to,
said we were going-
I'm asking, are you returning to the warehouse, or y'all just meeting up? Because I don't think y'all made a plan before he left.
Oh.
I would just go to the tavern because I would assume that they not sit around there at the warehouse for like hours.
Yeah, we had already discussed going to get food and things, so
Do we want
I
to
guess we
one
go
of us
there.
ahead to get a room at the tavern so that way we're not lugging all of this in first sight?
yeah. Who wants to be the Fallon? You want to get us a room? Or a few rooms, like 3 rooms?
I don't think I'm in the most social mood at the minute, but I can,
Oh,
I can
right.
do it if you'd like.
Oh no, that's fair.
I say we
I'll-
send our returner.
I'll go in and I'll go ahead with Shadow and get us some rooms. Because Matlock can carry like 3 crates on his own. He's a big guy.
You can carry 2.
We can carry 2 and then we can divide the other 2 between the 4 of us.
So, all right, who's doing what?
I'm going to the tavern ahead to reserve rooms.
And the rest of us are hanging back with Thalion until she returns.
Do you know how to get to the tavern?
I mean, I've been there.
No, you
I don't
haven't.
know if I-
You
Yes,
talking
I
about
have.
El Sun or the Low Lantern?
Yeah, the Low Lantern. Didn't we go there?
No, you did not go there.
Oh, I'll ask someone on the street.
But Mel Otis has went there. And
Nope.
since he's
I can. I tell her how to get to the tavern from where we're at because I have actually been there.
give me an intelligence check, see if you remember how to get there. Because you only been there once, and you're not from the city.
You got this.
2.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Oh
That's
dear.
terrible. A 7.
All right, Shadow. He said go left and then right and then straight and then right and then left again. Right? That's what he said.
You tell her the area that you remember. You remember that much. You don't remember exactly what corner it was on.
He tells her it's in this town.
It's around here somewhere. Just
It's in the lower village on the corner by the docks. You remember it's by the docks. That's where you remember it's at.
I'll head toward the
Oh my
docks,
goodness, that was terrible.
and then I'll just stop someone who looks like they're from here. I'm like, you know where the Elson Tavern is? I'm trying to find it.
You remember Elson Tavern or the Low Lantern?
The Low Lantern.
Like, you don't need to roll for that one.
Sorry, the Low Lantern Tavern, please.
Oh, yeah, it's over there across from Bear Fort.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll head over there.
Now, everybody's still at the warehouse? Yeah, are you taking a short rest?
Yeah, I took a short rest.
Arrest!
All right. So, Dominos, as you're sitting there, I'm assuming you're taking watches. Or, well, I mean, you got the doors barricaded, but before you, this bright light before you, and this like similar to Brat's God coming into the tavern, opens up, steps out, this angel-looking person that has very similar features to Brock. And he says, "My good friend, how are you?"
To whom is he?
Meliodas.
Oh, wait a minute.
Did you even hear me?
No, wait.
I thought you said Domino's.
Did I say that? Meliodas.
Yeah.
Meliodas.
Okay, go for it.
Before you, this bright light in this circle that is similar to Brat's God that came into the tavern to take him home happens, and it spreads out. Steps before you, this angel-looking person with wings that has features just like Brock stands before you. How are you, my friend?
Brock, is that you?
Yes.
Why, you've got wings.
Yep. You still have that tome.
I do still have the tome. As a matter of fact, it's right here.
Let me see it.
I pull out the tome and I hand it to Brock.
He takes one hand under it and his other hand on top of it. I ripped the benefits of this before. I give the power back to it. And it's recharged. I recharge it for whoever you feel the need can use it. Just keep in mind, I still wanted to get back to Liam. And I know we didn't get a chance to say goodbye for my passing. I just wanted to have this one last goodbye for you. And do one this last good deed for you.
Thank you, my friend. I will definitely make sure that I get it back to Liam, as well as I will make sure that it gets good use with whomever it best fits.
Good to hear. Just keep it know, I will always be with you.
I know, my brother, and I will always be with you.
And as you say this, he turns to Thalion and Grinlia. And somebody he doesn't know and never recognized.
Oh, I'm not there.
Oh yeah, you left, didn't you? So Thalion and the one that does not recognize. Turns to Thalion. Thank you for all your help. I'm sorry it didn't turn out the way we hoped. But keep in know, my soul is at rest with the God I love.
That means a lot. I needed to hear some good news today.
Keep in mind, your sister is not here. I hope you find her one day.
hope so too.
He turns to the new one. It's like, you're new. Keep my friend Melodus alive. Okay. And keep it know, I'm always watching. With that, it turns back to Melodus. One last goodbye. With a split second. Yeah, basically a salute, the order salute. Just like that. Right back into the circle that you which came from. Brillia. On your way, Shadow has a chat with you. Which I was going to do this on the night, but you weren't here, so. Alright. Shadow says something to you. I want you to know my purpose for being here while the Wild Mother sent me to you.
Do tell.
Not meant to sound cocky, for lack of a better term, but your powers you get from the Wild Mother. Is it a place she knows that you're going? Her powers do not reach there. And hence, your powers won't work there either. Which is why she sent me to you. I'm a catalyst of her power. As long as I'm with you at all times, you will have your power.
That's good to know. Are you all right with that?
I'm do the Wild Mother's bidding. Now I'm attached to you. If I die, you die. If you die, I die.
I understand.
And that's how our powers will work. That's the only way you have her power in the place that we're going. The only
Where are you going?
only way it will work.
What place are you talking about?
You know the place we're going. We have to save your family.
Of course.
That is my mission for you. The mission why I'm here.
And what about when the mission is complete?
I will go back with the Wild Mother. And return to the wilds where I came from.
Well,
I just want you to understand the gravity of why I'm here.
I understand.
And he continues on, not saying anything else.
I just absentmindedly just pat him as he's walking.
You reach the tavern about the same time Domino's reaches it. For some reason, fate has decided that y'all reach at the same time.
Oh, fancy meeting you here.
Hi.
And your task, how did it go?
Everything was according to plan. I talked to Captain Sorch, and he asks us in his very own peculiar way to take care of Warlock's mother and her brother and her plans. I'm afraid he has not paid us it so far, so I can't give you what you deserve. But he has offered us extra payment for finishing this task for him.
Okay. So, out of game really quick. So, the mom wants to, just so I can remember, she wants to make what happened to Elturel happen in Baldur's Gate, right? It's her plot. She's the one who set it in motion.
I'm not sure that that is her plan. I think the way that
her
Morlock
family or
told us.
something?
Well, what
she
Morlock
wants-
are you asking me, or is this in game?
This is above game.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you remember correctly, Mortlock said that she had made a pact with somebody, and a part of the
That's right.
pact was the city and elsewhere go and disappear for what you know.
Yeah. So and that he's afraid that this will happen to Baldur's Gate as well if she gets away. I'm sure she made a pact with some being that came out of control for her. So we have to find out what she did.
All right. Well, I think that's probably something that everyone will be behind, I would imagine.
As they
I mean,
should.
how long do you think that's going to take? I mean, what's the timeline for this all to go to shit?
I cannot say. Eterel seemed to be there 1 second and gone in the next. So it could happen here at any point.
Okay,
So we should be hasty in our approach.
agreed. All right, and what's of the dagger? Did they lock it up for you?
Everything is safe, and as I see that our little elfish thief friend looks much better attuned to life than to some weapon. So I guess this worked.
Well, I don't think you've seen him yet, or did you go to the... I thought we just met at the tavern.
Yeah, you just met a tavern. You don't know anything of.
Ah, I thought that everyone was going there. Ah,
No, it's just
okay.
me. I went to get some rooms for the... Everyone else is still back at the... You know, they're just hiding out for a bit. But
In that
before
case,
I left,
yeah.
Thalon seemed to have snapped out of it. So, that's good.
Yes, I'm.
Shadow interrupts you and says, you want me to go get the other people?
Why don't you wait until we get our rooms actually reserved? I don't even know if they have any. I was just about to get some rooms.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good plan. Let's do this.
Are y'all going inside?
Yep.
Yes.
As you walk inside, you see a triangle. I'm going to explain everything. So, big bear along if you follow along. So you have, like, a lack of a better term, a triangular common room with 2 tables and chairs to the left and right, 2 patrons to the left having a eating or not eating and drinking. A person sits by himself, which kind of fell over. This over here is the private area. You see, I'll make it simple and easy, make it a story. You see Elwood walk up to you and he's explaining all this to you. So pretend that Elwood's explaining it. So this is the fancy room, whatever. I meant to cover this up. You don't see this part. Don't mind me!
Just fixing the roof.
Yeah, just fixing the roof. Don't worry about it. You do not know that room is there.
What room?
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you have the bartender, Laura. She's actually the owner of this establishment. Not the bartender, but she's the owner of this establishment. They do have rooms available, but she has her own personal room in the back, which is this right here. A big fancy room. That's her room. But she does have they have a common room with 4 beds and 2 single rooms with single beds. So basically 6 beds available. Just 2 beds are in their own room, personal rooms. So
Yeah.
we're at the end of our time here. So what we can do is, I don't know how you want to handle it. If you want to get the whole party here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I'll reserve the rooms and then I'll send Shadow to get everybody else.
Yeah.
So the
That's
common room would be 25 copper a piece, the one with the most beds. And then the single rooms would be 2 silver a piece.
I think we'll do single rooms, right? Looking at Domino's.
But there's only 2 rooms with
Yeah.
single beds, and the other room is a common room with 4 beds.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
have to get, I think, all of them then, right?
We have to get
Six
all of
us?
them.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Let's get all of them.
Yeah. So the single rooms are 20. What did I say? 2 silver pieces a piece. There'd be 4 silver pieces. And the common room, I already lost track. What did I say for the common?
25 copper for the.
Well, that will make it more. So, all right. So 25 copper for the common room,
Okay.
20 silver for each room. The single bedrooms. They're more expensive down here.
Okay. Okay, I'll just pay for it. I'll pay for it up front and send Shadow.
So Shadow travels off.
Yeah.
People in the shed. Shadow comes knocking on the door. Oh!
Your cue to leave.
Yeah,
Well, only-
that's us.
It's Meliodas, Fallon, and Adara.
So I go up and
Yes, can Shadow hold or carry, I guess.
So Mortlock's actually. Mortlock can carry 2. Shadow could probably carry 1. You strap it down to his back, and then y'all can carry the other 4. I'll just be nice and say all the other extra loot that you found you could fit in those crates.
okay. Let's get to work. Menace, you know where we're going, right? Okay, we'll work it out then.
Mellis, you're muted.
My bad. All right. Yes. I know for the most part where we're going, and Shadow should be able to get us the rest of the way.
Okay, let's head out then. And I pick up one end of the crates on one of the crates.
Yep. And I help as well.
Looks like I'm walking with Shadow.
If there's anything else y'all want to take care of before we end the session, now's the time.
Get back to the. I'm assuming we're getting back to the tavern.
Mhm.
We've gotten to the tavern and we're going into our rooms. Are we taking a long rest?
I mean, y'all tell me what y'all doing.
Well, I'm assuming let's take a long rest.
I could do with a long rest.
All right, who's in what room?
I'll take one of the beds within the small room, the one that cost us the copper,
In the common room.
one with the 3 beds.
Common room.
I'm going to turn around and say, if you guys don't mind, I'd quite like to be alone tonight.
And I just take one of the single rooms just
Of
about.
course you do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Well-
not sure if that's possible if we still have the big oaf with us, is it?
Yeah, we're gonna all be. It's gonna
As
be.
well as Shadow's definitely gonna have to be in one room with Grenlia.
I'll send Shadow in with Thalon.
That
Sweet.
way it gives
Well, I
us
mean, hold on. Who's
balance.
what? So,
So Shadow and Thalon are in one of the small rooms, single rooms.
well, Mortlot does not want to go in. So Mortlot says, "I have a place I can stay, so I'll meet you back here in the morning, outside."
Oh, all right.
Solves that issue then.
Well, who's in the single rooms? I'm assuming.
Domino's and Thalon.
So, all right. So, Shadow's in the big room with everybody else, and Thalon's. I'm missing somebody.
Elwood.
Oh yeah, it was in the cover. All right, cool. I'll leave that as is. And anything else? Has anything else? I'll go ahead and end the session there because we're already going a little bit over. So we're
Yes, that's good.
all right.
Taking our long rest.
You go ahead and sure, go ahead and take your long rest now. So, and congratulations, everybody. You're now level 4.
Ooh.
All because the next fight y'all gonna have is gonna be a doozy. So I want y'all level 4.
Oh no. Okay.
I better be rolling better next time around.
So
Okay.
right now, everybody go roll the hit die so we can do it correctly, so y'all don't mess it up.
Oh.
I mean, I needed to go to Vegas with those all
mess it
7s I
up?
was rolling.
Us?
Yeah.
No.
So go roll a hit die for each one. So Dom, Melrose, you roll a 10-sided die, I think. I should say. Adara, you roll a d6. I don't know where everybody else is off the top of my head.
Does it say it on our thing
Yeah,
somewhere?
it'd be in your hit points.
Okay.
Should be a d-sided die or whatever.
Level 4. Hit points 1d10.
Yeah. 1d8. Okay, I'm a d8 plus 2.
So what? How D&D Beyond's the reason I'm doing this now, so it's kind of training, so I don't have to repeat myself anymore. So D&D Beyond already adds your con to it. You just have to roll and then hit the up button on your hit points that many times.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Dude, seriously?
Well, you have to level up and then do that.
Terrible rolls.
What'd y'all get?
Terrible rolls. I got a 2.
Yeah, you get
I'll
2
trade
points.
I got a 1.
You get the re-roll of 1. One time.
God.
That's the roll I said from the beginning. If you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it once, and you get whatever afterwards.
Okay.
Reroll
I'll take a 2.
a 3.
Yep, you get add 3 points. So hit the up button 3 times for your total hit points. Alan, what do you get?
I got an 8.
Nice. There you go. At 8 hit points. And then at level 4, you can either take 2 or plus 2 points into any ability that you have, or take a feat.
That's for him, right?
That's for everybody at level 4.
Oh.
At level 4, since our new players, at level 4, you get to add 2 points to any ability like strength, dexterity, con, or take a feat. You can look at the feats, whatever. So like shield carries, you can get like shield master is an option for you guys, whatever. There's a list of feats, you can look over them and you can decide which ones you want. You can add those if you want, or take to +2 ability stats.
For Shadow, he's a D10, right?
Yep.
You said okay.
You can roll a d10 for him. If it's 1, you can re-roll it. I give him the same option since he's with you guys. He'd be leveling up with you guys. What'd you get? A 10?
I got a 10.
Nice. So just add on what the health points I gave him from the beginning and just add to it. And Elwood, he knows what to do, so I ain't gonna worry about him. So that being said, you can look over your feats or whatever, and then off stream like usual, you can divide up the new loot that you guys got and all that, and handle all that. We won't see each other for 3 weeks, so hope you guys enjoy your 3 weeks off and see you back.
Okay.
And everybody watching on Twitch right now and watching on YouTube, just know we love you very much. We see you in 3 weeks. And when in doubt, whip it out.
Whip it out.
Bye.
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 Bye.